Hello, hello, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Legacy. Now, this is episode 64, so we're actually doing something a little special. I'm going to go ahead and do a tour of everything I've built on this world. So we're starting at my very first base. This was the first structure I ever built on this world. It's not much to look at, but at one point this little farm had food in it. And, you know, I had my little chest of stuff. Down here leads to my mine. I've left this structure up because I'm going to turn it into a little proper— oh, that's a lot of creepers up there. A proper mining outpost sometime. Just not currently. So, the very next thing I did— please don't see me— is I started making this little fishing town. And it's got a couple houses. Not too many. This is the first one I built. And then I built this one. And then the rest of them came up really quite quickly after that. There's even a little house hidden over here. And I built this gazebo as well. And then came the wall, which I'm honestly really proud of. It looks really nice. I like what I was able to do with the details. So, after the wall, I got started on a sort of ambitious project. This is how you get up and down from the top of the wall to the bottom. There's a billion different paths you could take, each one of them completely unique from the last. And there's 3 spots you can end up in. There's one over there that leads to where actually there's 5. You can end up at this end of the wall, you can end up at that end of the wall. There's 2 spots up there you can end up at, or you could end up at a little landing that connects to the old way up. It's not staying, so I'm not going to tour anything that's not really staying. So up here, this is unfinished again, but up here, we have a little town. It's supposed to be like sort of perhaps the more elite area as opposed to the slightly less elite area down by the lagoon. Which is why it has actual paths and lighting as opposed to torch spam. I should fix that eventually. This house up here was the very first house that I built in the elite area. It even has a little chest for a lot of things that I used during its construction. Wonderful little balcony, 2nd floor, unfurnished because I'm going to do that last. You know, nice, quaint little house. The rest of them just sort of appeared as I went. We have this lovely little tower. It was going to be a clock tower, but I ran out of height. I believe this house is still unfinished. Oh, no, I did actually finish it. Nice. So I think that's one of the biggest houses I've built in sheer floor space. This, honestly, is one of my favorites. It's small, it's simple, but it looks nice. Up the path we have more houses. Most of these houses include a jack-o'-lantern. Sort of the notation that this house is perhaps higher quality than the ones below. This house was hard to build. Mostly because of the angles I selected. I'm stubborn like that. And then we go over here and we have, I think, the most modern house that I've created with the limitations of Alpha's blocks. Like, we've got the nice white walls. It's got a lot of straight lines, but also angles. It turned out really nice, I think. There's a little plaza over here. I should probably connect it to the road. It looks really nice. It's got this lovely little circle. You can actually climb up here, which you're not supposed to do, but then you can look down. I'm actually terraforming this area down a little, because otherwise I would have maybe 5 or 6 blocks before I reached the build height. This is another house that I think turned out really well. It's, again, small, but, you know, it doesn't always have to be big. If we look in the distance over there, you can see me burning down the big trees instead of chopping them down. Fun fact, it would appear that blocks don't actually go away when the fire is on top of them, only when it's on the sides. Interesting little factoid about Minecraft Alpha. So, this area I haven't worked on in a little while, and that's because I've been working on some other stuff. If we return to the stair maze of doom, we can find a way down, which allows me to access this. This is the entrance to the, as of yet, incompleted mob farm. I've only got a chunk left to dig, but I'm an alpha and I typically use stone pickaxes to do this because I'm stingy with my iron, so it is rather time consuming. And when I stopped working on this, I had some school projects and stuff, and I just couldn't log on and play for hours and hours to get it done. And unfortunately that statement still stands. But it's almost holiday break, so hopefully we'll finish it soon. There's also a bunch of unlit caves that I'm going to have to find, because it's a mob farm. And if all the mobs are spawning in the unlit caves, they aren't going to spawn in the farm. So after I built that, I built this wonderful little hot air balloon. Actually, as I was building the mob farm and up there, I was building this. This took an unforeseen amount of wool. You can't actually get up there. I might change that. If I build another one, I might add a little bridge between them. Or maybe once I get the mountains terraformed, I'll add bridges. So right now it just looks pretty cool. I really like how it looks like I've used a darker wood because of how the lighting turns out. It gives it sort of a unique feeling, like this hot air balloon is something special. So then we go over here, and this is an area that hasn't had much development, again because I want to terraform the mountains before I do anything super concrete like stick a path that leads to here. But I've gone and I've built a little sailing ship. Right now it's stuck in a lagoon that I still need to lower a few blocks. I need to make the lagoon deeper, I need to connect it to the ocean, I need to make the canal that connects this little bay to the ocean bigger. This has got to go, because right now this ship is sort of stuck here, but that's alright, you know? It was a fun build, and even if it doesn't yet make sense, it's going to, and that's the important thing. As you can see, it's got one sail that's out, or 3 sails that are out and 2 that are up. I don't know much about sailing ships, but as far as I'm aware, you can really only make this a really tight sail or a really slack one because of its triangularness. Whereas the 2 square sails can be raised and lowered because they're square. Currently, there's not much in terms of decoration. You can't actually access below the hull right now, but you can climb up here and look around, and I'm gonna put a steering wheel here someday. And you can also enter the captain's quarters. Oh, these should have some torches. Yeah, this is the captain's quarters. It's a wonderful little area. The windows will have glass when I finish this project. And that's currently all that I've done. It's not a lot when you think about it, but also alpha is a lot slower than later versions of the game. And also I have a tendency to play Minecraft at a really leisurely pace. So, I'll wait out the night. I'll jump cut and wait out the night. And then I'll talk a bit about what I have planned for this world. So, catch you in about 10 minutes. So now that I have let there be light, I guess we'll start where we started. This area I'm going to turn into a mining outpost. It's probably not going to be more complex than a little bit of terraforming and just making the area look cozy. I'll probably add a better way down than the staircase. Like, maybe minecarts. I know powered rails don't exist, but also I know how to get around that. Easy peasy. So, probably do that. Just a little hill that leads down into probably an area that I'll dig out once I finish the mob farm. Maybe an 8x8, quarter of a chunk should do. Just straight down like a mining elevator, except there's tracks around the edges. And it's open in the middle for light, and then it'll lead down to my actual mine, which is probably somewhere under there. So this whole entire little thing is going to go eventually. And then, this wonderful, lovely floating island here is actually going to be the location of my nether portal. It is a little bit of ways away from my base. But I saw this when I first spawned into this world, and I thought, oh, I have to do something amazing with that. So, there's a lot of monsters underneath me. Right in this general area, I'm gonna put a massive tower, and it's gonna be made of cobble and stone and moss cobble. And I'm gonna put blinking redstone torches on the sides. It's gonna be pretty cool. Purely aesthetic, too. Because really all I need is the 10 obsidian. Yeah, it's 10. This area is almost done. I might add another house or two. The biggest project I have for it is I'm terraforming this mountain to be a lot lower, so I have better sight from where the Nether Tower is going to be to where the houses are. Because at the start it was... Before I started cutting it down, it was really, you saw this mountain, you saw some houses, and that was it. And this is going to allow for a much better view. Other than maybe a few more houses, specifically along the edges and stuff, so I have things I can connect the docks to, because I want this to be just as ridiculous as that, but on a 2D scale. So probably some houses and stuff there, of course, once I finish terraforming the mountains. I don't know what I'm going to do with this hole here, or if I'm even going to do anything at all. Maybe I'll make a secret magic cave or something. Maybe I won't. I don't know how I'm going to handle it with terraforming. But, again, it will be handled. In the sky here, I'm going to add another hot air balloon or two. Not too many, because that one took as long as it did to make. I don't even remember how many episodes that took. Just collecting wool and going and adding 2 or 3 at a time. Ridiculous. The wall is absolutely complete. The only modification I might make is right now those necromancer panels, I think they're called, are lit by torches. And if I could replace that with glowstone, I would be very happy. Just because it would give it a slightly fuller look, and there'd be that little pop of color right behind the slabs, which I believe would be very interesting. I think it would look a little cooler than the torches. That will be, my instant health machine will probably be upgraded when I terraform, so that way I can like guarantee that no matter where I land, it's going to give me all my health back. Up here I have a lot of plans for. But I can sneak through here. Itty bitty alleyway. We can see the start of the terraforming here. This is just getting it down to the highest level I'm going to allow this to be at. I'm probably going to take a lot of this down further. But right now what's important is I get the bits that are really just way too high for me to build anything nice on. Anything that sort of fits in this area on, gone. So, after that, probably terraforming the edges so I know how close to them I can get. I'm probably only going to build up and out. I don't really want to carve in all that much because there's already limited space up here. But knowing where I can and can't, like, put stuff is going to be really helpful. There's actually an area that I didn't show earlier because I haven't done anything with it yet, but I do have plans for it. It isn't gonna be like super official mining outposts or anything, but this area down here I definitely want to do something with. It looks so nice. We have that little floating island there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put here, but I mean, I can't not, you know? It's so lovely. It's nice and secluded. It's almost like Gargamel, but you don't spawn here. You know? It's that little bitty area surrounded by mountains. And I think that it's frankly beautiful, so definitely going to be doing something here. Was thinking a mining area when I first saw it, and I might just solely decoration, but I also might do some construction area. This is probably going to be terraformed a little as well, because I'm going to extend as far along these mountains as I can. Which basically means there's a bit of a valley in between some mountains there, and I think that's about as far as I'm going to be able to take this. But basically I want this whole upper area to have a lot of housing. Just a bunch of houses. Just go absolutely ridiculous with it. I can't jump to my tower there, which is what I was hoping I could do. I will instead go over to the actual staircases that I made that I'm supposed to use. Because there's also some stuff in here that I've got plans for. And I can show it to you. Everywhere you see a dirt block, I'm going to carve a house into the mountain. So here there's going to be a little house tucked underneath this staircase. Here there's going to be a little house tucked in here. Here there's going to be a house tucked farther back. But I'm probably going to have to consider terraforming before I make these houses. And then we go down a level, and there's going to be a house or two somewhere along here. I don't remember exactly where I'm going to put them. Ouch. Over here we're going to have 3 houses, I believe. Yeah. One here, one that goes that way, and one that pushes in that way behind that one. Ah! Oh, I landed in the water! Okay. So there's a few more spots where I'm going to put houses, like here. But generally I want this area to have a very well-populated feel. So, now on to the last area that I have super duper concrete plans for. Because beyond that it's just kind of, if I need to build there, I will. But I don't plan to. It's not part of creating this village that I will probably have to name at some point. I might put an actual, sort of wall on top of the sort of natural wall that's here. Because there's actually a really nice natural wall that surrounds this whole lagoon. Which I think is pretty cool. So over here we have the ship. Which I'm almost complete with. It's just a little bit of decoration stuff. This bay here is going to get expanded. I'm probably going to drag it in a lot and get rid of that little island and deepen it a good deal. and probably bit by bit at a time. Like, work layer by layer just because of how water physics work. It will be much easier to do that. This is getting ditched. Not sure how much, but there needs to be enough for a ship of that size to easily fit through, because you don't want it to be difficult to aim your ship into something. Especially not when it's made of wood. This land that I'm walking on right here, I'm gonna flatten it a little bit. Probably get rid of some of the little inlets. And then I'm gonna cover the whole thing with sand. Where I'm gonna get this sand, I don't know. But I'm gonna cover the whole thing with sand. And I'm gonna put a little beachfront market. And then I'm gonna make sure that it's like actually beachfront. Like here we have some bay and stuff, and that's pretty good. I might make it a little more uniform. Like that will probably go, some of those will probably go, because right now it's really not super uniform. But essentially this is gonna be just a massive beachside market with like market stalls, nice paths. It's gonna be well lit. I don't have much for color because dyes don't exist, but you know, I can always make do with white. Isn't my first choice, but you know, it works, it works. So I think that's just about all the plans. So thank you for watching. If you're part of the morning crew, I hope you have a great day. If you're part of the evening crew, I hope your day has been great. And if you're part of the afternoon crew, well, I hope your day is going alright. I've been Ruby Robotic, and I will catch y'all in the next episode.